Welcome to today's lower body workout. We'll be focusing on thighs and glutes, and all of the exercises will be performed on an exercise mat. So make sure you have a nice comfortable mat, and let's get started. The first series is called the L series. So what I want you to do is to get your body into an L position where your legs are at 90 degrees to your upper body. Just rest your head in your hands and put your other hand in front for support. Flex your feet and start lifting the top leg. They're not really large lifts, just little lifts, concentrating on really contracting every muscle in your leg and keeping your hips nice and stacked, actually even rotating forward slightly. That will help you not to rotate the hip outwards. So this is emphasizing the use of the quadricep muscle in the front of your leg, as well as your glutes and your hips. So nice lifts up. These are using all the tiny muscle groups in your legs, so you'll feel the burn quite quickly here. Not many more. I'll always count you down the last few repetitions so you know when we're moving on. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now heel and toes. So toe to toe, heel to heel. That other leg on the ground is just a supporting leg, but it's still quite tensed. So make sure that both legs are very straight, no bend in the knee. Just going toe and heel and toe. Tiny little movements here. You don't need to rotate a lot and do big movements to feel the muscle burning in these positions. Just go for 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Now keeping your legs in line with one another, you're doing a tiny bend press, bending at the knee and pressing back out. When your leg is lengthened out, your feet are still stacked on top of each other. So use a tiny bend press. You're just hovering that leg above the leg on the ground and pressing, thinking about squeezing into your glutes and making sure that your hips are still stacked. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now actually bend your knees so that again it's at a 90-degree angle, and I want you to bring your knee to knee and toe to toe, knee, toe. So it's a similar movement to the toe heel we did earlier, but this time we've got our legs bent. These exercises focus on getting into that nice muscle that separates your quadricep from your hamstring. They call it the dancer's dent. So if you want one of those, then keep on doing these even though they burn. Knee to toe. Keep your tummy tucked in here. That'll help support your back. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I want you to stack your legs on top of each other again and bring your feet off the ground at a 45-degree angle. Now start to lengthen the top leg. So you're just straightening out at 45 degrees, stacking them on top of each other and lengthening out. Every time you lengthen out, think about squeezing, still in that same hip area, squeezing out. Long, lean legs, as if you're trying to poke the far wall with your toe. Thinking about lengthening, squeezing the top of your thighs, your hips. And remember to breathe throughout this whole workout. Should be feeling a nice burn in there now. Just go for 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Now just drop that bottom leg and do small pulses up. So again, thinking about rotating that hip forward so that you're leading with the outside of your leg, inner thigh facing down to the floor. Small pulses, still thinking about stretching long, keeping that leg totally straight, no bend at the knee. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now sweep your leg from back to front. So you're going as far back as you can, but you're staying on the same horizontal plane. Don't move up or down, just backwards and forwards. All the way to the front, as far as you can comfortably go. Making sure that your leg is totally straight here, do not bend, and try to limit the motion in your hips. Try to keep them stacked, keep the bottom leg tensed so you're actually supporting your whole body there, and just keep swinging. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold your leg back, flex your foot, and try to almost twist your heel up to the ceiling so your toe points down slightly. Now try to pulse, keeping that top leg back. So it's just slightly behind your hip line. You're not in front like you were before. Just hits the muscles in a slightly different angle, making sure we're shaping that leg in every way possible. Sculpting long, lean muscles. Go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And last thing, point your toe, bring it back in line with your hip, and mini rotations. Mini little rotations as if you're trying to draw a circle on the opposite wall there. Pointing your toe, lengthening your leg. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going to switch sides and repeat that whole series on your other leg. So just come over, lying back down comfortably, your head resting in your hands, bringing your body to that L-shaped position. The closer you have your legs into your torso, the more you're going to feel it in your glutes and in your hips. So if you're just starting out, maybe just keep your legs a little bit further back. But if you really want to go there and feel the burn, bring them up closer. So it's actually even less than a 90-degree angle. Hand in front to support, hips rotated and stacked on top of each other, and start lifting that top leg. So every time you come down, your feet are completely in line with one another, and you're squeezing your leg. Every muscle in your leg is tensed. Don't waste any of this time. Make sure you're tensing and you're really thinking about each little muscle that's in there, lengthening, strengthening, sculpting, nice chiseled legs. Now this one, because it was supporting the entire time on the other side, will actually start burning quicker. So you're going to notice that it's already starting to build up that lactic acid. That's what's giving that burn, the lactic acid building up. So not many more. I know we're suffering here. I'm suffering with you. Go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now toe and heel. Toe and heel. Tiny little movements. That rotation just hits the muscles in a different angle, making it a well-rounded workout, making sure that we're getting all those intricate little muscles that are so hard to get with normal weight training. Toe and heel. Keep your hips stacked. Deep breaths. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bend press. So once again, you're just doing a micro bend in the knee, and it's like you're pushing something away with your foot. Pressing out. Pushing a heavy cement block away. So you're really engaging all of those muscles. Not just like mindlessly doing this, but really thinking about what the exercise is going to do for you, what your goals are, long, lean legs, and just keep pressing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bend your knees and stack them on top of each other, still making sure your hips are on top of one another, and start to put your knee to your knee and your toe to your toe. So it's knee and toe, but now with a bent leg. Gives a little bit of relief, but the burn comes back pretty quickly. If ever you find this is just getting too intense, then sit out a few reps and come back and join us when you're ready. Unfortunately, there's not really much you can do to modify this exercise. It's just going to burn any which way you do it, but those muscles will strengthen, and you'll find that after doing this workout a few times, it won't be quite as painful. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now stack your knees and tilt your feet off the ground at a 45-degree angle, lengthening your top leg. So you're lengthening out in line with that 45 degrees and really squeezing at the top. Squeezing, stretching as if you're trying to reach the opposite wall. Nice long stretch. Holding your tummies in to support your back. Squeezing up. The higher you get your leg up here, the harder it is. So if you're feeling it's too painful, just bring it down here. But if you can, right at the top. Just for 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Now drop your bottom leg and do little pulses with that top leg. Still keeping it really long and straight. Making sure your hips aren't rolling open. If you roll open like this, you're going to lose the exercise. Make sure you're rolling forward. You're better off rotating more forward. You can even put your arm down like this. That will help. Squeeze your glutes here as well. Just tense everything. The more you tense, the more you're going to feel it, and the better your results are going to be. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now sweeping forward and back. So once again, staying in the horizontal plane, right to the back. So at the back you'll squeeze your glutes and then kick to the front. So you're going as far back as you can and as far forward as you can. Really engaging every muscle in that leg. But this is also a little bit of a stretch. You'll notice at the front especially, there's a bit of a stretch in your hamstrings. So it's a double exercise, strengthening and stretching. Just for 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Now keep your leg back, flex your foot and turn your toe down slightly. Tiny little raises, this time with your toe pointing down. So you're trying to turn your hip down as much as possible, keeping that leg straight, toe trying to face the ground. I know you won't be able to fully rotate it, but as much as you can, flexing that foot hard. Just go for 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And last exercise, bring it in line with the hip again, pointing your toe, and mini rotations. Many little rotations to the front. Last exercise in this sequence, so really make the most of it. Really squeeze everything here. Tiny rotations, thinking about those hips being stacked. Long legs for 4, 3, 2, and 1. So what I want you to do to stretch the front of the thighs is actually come back, lean on your hands, and press your hips upwards. So really push up with your pelvis, and that is stretching out those quadriceps. Stay here for a while, deep breaths. You did an awesome job. That wasn't easy, that burned. Hopefully you'll be sore tomorrow. Muscle soreness is a good thing. Now come to the front and come into a lunge position, a wide lunge, tilting that back hip forward. So you're just really stretching that hip flexor, really thinking about stretching forward. I'm not going to hold these stretches for very long, so if you want to stretch a little bit more after this, definitely do so. Otherwise, you can move on to another segment. Now come forward, keep your legs straight and just bring your fingertips to the ground. If you find this is too much of a stretch, just come up, put your hand on your thigh, just hinge your bum towards the back wall and keep your back nice and flat here. For 4, 3, 2 and 1, and switching sides. Bringing the other leg forward, nice hip flexor stretch. Really thinking about lengthening through that back leg. Nice breaths here. And then once again shifting back and stretching over that front leg. Stretching that hamstring, the back of the leg. And finally, we're just going to sit down and stretch wherever you're comfortable. If you're up here, you can already feel the inner thighs stretched, then fine. Otherwise, just come down to a level where you can feel your thighs stretching and elongating. Really pushing, flatten your back and push your chest to the ground. It's a really nice one to stretch out those legs. Okay, that's it. Thanks for joining me.